Welcome to the overnight. It's been about a couple weeks since I did a video. Tonight's the NBA Finals. The Bricks with the easiest run known to man to the NBA Finals had three teams that literally gave up after early in the series. I mean, think about it. I mean, after, it was when it was 2-2, Atlanta gave up. And then when Embiid was out game 2, that was it. And then when Cleveland blew that 22-point lead, I still can't believe how they fucking beat Detroit. Because Detroit would give San Antonio a better series, I think. Because New York hasn't faced a defense in the playoffs yet. And I know San Antonio had a 7-game war with Oklahoma City, but I think it's going to be a lot easier for San Antonio in this series. Because the Knicks don't play relentless defense like Oklahoma City does. I mean, Stephon Castle, I think, will harass the ever-living shit out of Jalen Brunson. And just like he did with SGA. You can't... It's fucking... That's the easiest thing I can see right there. I see Spurs in 5. That's how I see it. Because I just think the Spurs they're on the right rest 3-4 days to the Knicks 9. I guarantee, if San Antonio's up 25 in the third, do you honestly think they're gonna fucking honk that lead? No, they won't. So that's that. I just want to talk about that. Stanley Cup Game 1 was fucking amazing last night. Carolina scored 20 seconds in the game, and it was back and forth, and then Vegas won at the end. And the Yankees still can't fucking beat teams over 500. Cam Schiller didn't have it last night. It's that simple. And the bullpen kind of held it down somewhat until fucking, Tim Hill. I think Tim Hill is just fucking starting to start falling down. But then again, I think he's a fraud. Just like Wandy Peralta was with the Yankees. When he was with the Yankees. And Duvall was one strike from getting out of that bases loaded jam. Being down 2. I mean, you're throwing 101, 102. Stay with it. Don't throw this fucking off-speed shit. I mean, and now, they got Cole going tonight. We'll see how that rolls. The Aaron Judge thing, I just don't, this is like 6 years ago all over again. They said he had shoulder soreness, then he had a pectoral issue. In the end, it was a rib injury. It just kept going down and down. And now it's his rib injury. He has a bone bruise in his upper ribs, and it's causing shoulder soreness in his shoulder. And then you wonder, and I think probably why he was more open, so he can alleviate the pain. So, we'll see how long Judge is going to be out for. They say day to day, but you never know with this fucking team that announces injuries. It's just longer than expected. I think Judge is going to be at least a week, maybe a little more. I mean, just like Stanton. Stanton still wasn't back, and they said he was like to be 10 days. Or so. It's now almost a month. But, they're saying that LaGrahe is going to the bullpen in AAA. So we need some bullpen help. We definitely need bullpen help. But LaGrahe has to, kind of get his command in check. Because, he throws 103. I mean, I think once he gets it refined, I think... I'm just going to put it out on a limb right here. By the time mid-August rolls around, LaGrange will be the closer. Because how can you trust David Bednar? He's got 5 clean innings this year. Out of 23 appearances? The guy can't get 3 fucking outs in a row. I don't know how he... and everyone's blaming his WBC shit. Yeah, I know that, But... they just should have done this in the middle of the year. But, what it is what it is. You have it in March, and then these guys have to be ready quick. But... and then after the finals comes the NBA draft. The Nets pick 6th. I can't see the Nets taking another fucking point guard. Because that would mean that the 3 that you got last year's draft, you're giving up on one of them. Or 2 of them. You got Yegor, and you got Traore, and you got, Saraf. And Dre Powell. I mean, you got 4 guards, and now you're going to go get another one? I mean, yeah, Darius Cove's a real deal, and he's a proven scorer. But the problem with the Nets, they had no fucking veteran leadership. Aside from Porter. But you needed a veteran point guard to lead them. To lead the, I just don't see... I think the Nets should trade down. They need to get a center or a power forward. Because you move Clowney to the bench. I just don't, I just don't see Clowney as a starting power forward in the league. Maybe a small forward, but you're not going to take minutes away from fucking Porter. But, the Nets are linked to some players. I mean, Jalen Duren would be a fucking, a great fucking addition. But we need defense. But we need scorers. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. can do it, but we need a point guard that can, maybe Traore will, or Dioman, whoever it is. But don't get another fucking point guard in the draft right now. You need to get interior. That's what I think. That means, you just watch. I mean, I heard him linked to a Ment. And that center from trading down to get that center from Michigan, which would be a good idea. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I heard the Nets are trying to trade up, which would be... they have the draft capital. I just don't understand why teams would bite. Yeah, but, you're dealing with teams that fucking tank. Like Washington and... because I just think that Washington will take fucking Boozer. And you let me put him with fucking AD and Trae Young, along with that shot blocker they have already. But we'll see what the draft, that's in a couple of weeks. But tonight's game will go to the finals. The Yankees tonight, they're 3-9. I don't think they're 3-9. I think they're like 1-10. Because you can't, but we'll see what happens tonight. But I also want to talk about the Giants. That's one thing I wanted to talk about. So earlier this week, the Giants signed not one, not two, but 3 wide receivers. Braxton Berrios, I get it. You need a punt kickoff returner, because we lost Gunner to a torn Achilles in camp at OTAs. Understandable. But there was no need for Odell Beckham Jr. to come back. No need. That was a terrible fucking move. They didn't need him back. They have too many wide receivers now to begin with. And then you go and sign Juju. Why? I mean, yeah, you bounced Jason Sanders, which you should have never signed in the first place. Because I think Ben Sauls will be the kicker. What was wrong with Ben Sauls? But bringing back Odell Beckham is I don't think he'll be in the top 6. You signed, what was it? Calvin Austin. You signed Darnell Mooney. You traded up in the draft to get Malachi Fields. I think Harbaugh's going to give Jalen Hyatt one more shot. And then you got, Isaiah Hodgins, Bo Collins, Ryan Miller, Cambray. So where's Beckham going to fucking play? He hasn't played since 2024 and off 2 ACL surgeries. How much do you really think he has? But every Giant fan is like, oh, he's back. But nobody really sees what really's been going on. He might be a practice squad receiver. Unless wide receivers go down, which, the way training camp has been going, you never know. But, I mean, if Beckham makes the top 6 and he beats out Darius Slayton should just not be on an NFL roster. And that contract that Joe Shane gave him was the biggest fucking waste. So, I think signing Beckham was a waste. Signing Juju was a waste. We don't need him. I think we'll be fine. So, training camp is about 7 weeks away. So, that's about it for today. I just wanted to, get some, I haven't been on for a while. I'm trying to get my disability in check. Not working sucks, but I'm just hurting too much. But, yeah. So I'm going to go inside, get off my feet, have some breakfast, and just sit on my phone and play games. Because that's all I can fucking do right now, which is, and be on fucking the internet. So, I like nice and peace and quiet and see what's going on in the world. So I'll probably, I'll be watching Game 1 of the Finals, and there'll be a lot of shit talking between me and my friends who are fucking Knicks fans. So, I think Spurs in 5. This isn't going to be a fucking series, in my opinion. I think San Antonio's got Game 1 easily by at least double digits. I think they got the right amount of rest. The Knicks are going to be rusty. So, and plus at home, San Antonio at home is really good. Alright, so everybody, you have a good day, and God bless.